People, take two. It's Friday. We finally make it to Friday. It's been a rough week. It's been a sad week and a productive week. And we need to get on with our business. So what's going on in the news? Well, Rick Gates, it seems, is going to go into court this afternoon and plead guilty. Yep, plead guilty to lying to the FBI and to some money moving crimes there. Huh. Now, just the other day, Rick Gates was he was going to fight this. You know, I'm sure because Manafort got in his ear and told him, hey, come on, buddy, we can fight this. We'll get good lawyers. We can beat this. Until Mueller went across the bridge over into Virginia, and there's a reason for that, and filed 32 more charges on his ass. Because he all of a sudden didn't want to cooperate anymore. He wants to fight. Okay, baby, let's lay it all out on the table. And then he went in to go look at what they had. Hell, they say Mueller wouldn't even have to argue the case. All he would have to do is put the bank documents down in front of the judge, and it would be over for him. So it's all right there in black and white. He has no choice. He sent out a memo to his family saying, I fought the good fight, but I'm going to have to give it up because they got me nailed. And that's what they do. They have his ass nailed to the ground, so he's got to flip. And he's going to flip on Manafort. Now, Manafort, remember, he's all, I'm going to fight this with every last bit. Yeah. Well, every last bit of your ass is going to go to prison there, Manafort. So why don't you flip? Because the person you flip on, yep, it might be enough to get your ass out of a bind, but I don't think so, boy. Looks like both of them, Rick Gates and Manafort, they got heavy troubles, baby. And I think the next little ladder on here coming is going to be Jared Kushner. Because there's a little flap going around because Kushner doesn't have a security clearance. And we know John Kelly came out and said there won't be no more people working in there if they don't have a security clearance. Right, John? Ain't that what you said? Let's watch that statement turn into a lie. Jared Kushner doesn't have a security clearance. And he won't get one until the Mueller investigation is done with his ass. And I think when they're done with his ass, he's not going to qualify for one. But that's what the holdup is. His money laundering and shit, his financial dealings are all being looked at. The meetings that he, when he filled out his papers to go to work for Donnie there, because, he's such an intelligent guy, he's going to fix all the problems of the world, Donnie said. He didn't, when he filled out his paperwork, he left out over 100 meetings that he had with Russian contacts. Remember? He came out and said, oh, well, we missed that, and we went in and corrected them because they're all just dealing with business. We didn't think you needed to know about them, but we went in and corrected them. And then we find out that he left another meeting out, the one in Trump Towers with Donnie Jr. and the Russians. Yeah, he left that out and got caught. No, he's not going to get a security clearance. He's under investigation for obstruction of justice, for money laundering, for colluding with Russians in that meeting to discuss dirt on Hillary Clinton. Although they lied and said, oh, it's all about the adoption papers there. We're going to adopt more Russian baby. Yeah, it was away, baby. Anyway, who is that? Shepard Smith. That's the guy on Fox News. The guy on Fox News that actually gives the news, which is a news organization that has to tell the truth. And the rest of what you watch on Fox Spews, they call it Fox News. Here's the O'Reilly report. Here's Hannity over shoving shit up your ass. That's entertainment shows. They're not bound by any moral obligation to tell you the truth. Their job is to pump crap up your ass. And that's what they do. But Shepard Smith can't do that. And what did he say on Fox? He said that those crimes, leaving those omissions out, is a crime punishable by prison. He's in over his head, this little kid is. He got hooked up with Donnie because he married Donnie's daughter. I'm sure that really made him happy. And Donnie taught him how to money launder, I guess. I don't know. It's a family thing. You mark my words, when this is all done, you're going to see Trump laundered money. Junior, Ivanka, Jarrett, they're all in some kind of a financial deal funneling money out of Russia. Out of Russia over here. You know, the same ones that are involved in manipulation of our election. You know, the same ones that are still doing it now and Donnie ain't doing anything about. He talks about, oh, we're going to put serious sanctions on North Korea. Well, what about Russia, Donnie? You know, the Congress and the Senate, they pass it. Well, piss on that. We don't need to put, we're looking into that. You know, there's a process you have, that's what Sarah Sanders, when she comes out to polish that turd. Well, you know, there's a process we have to go through before we can implement those sanctions. Oh, but you can implement them on North Korea tomorrow. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, Russia? Well, you know, there's a process. It's shit, people. It's a lying piece of crap up there in our house that delays this Mueller investigation with everything. No collusion on Trump. No, it's pure treason. That's what it is. It's not just collusion, Donnie. It's treason. And he sells our country out every day. Anyway, you watch. Oh, Jarrett's going to be the next one, I think, that's going to be have his ass in a crack. And we've all seen Donnie now come out and tell us what he thinks we need to do about the school shootings in our areas, in our house. Well, we need to make them like prison, harden our schools. We need to harden the school design. We can hand it right over to Correction Corporations of America, and they can build us some really nice schools that look just like prisons. And we can put guards on every corner. Armed guards, what a rifle out there. We can arm our teachers. We can give our teachers the guns. Pay them money to do it too. Where's that money coming from? Well, we ain't got no money for the after-school programs. No, we ain't got no money. We just took it out of the budget for school teacher assistants on the objects they have to buy for their class. That was taken out. All sorts of social programs for the youth have been thrown out the door. Where are you going to get that money to pay them? What's next? Instead of buses, we're going to have armored personnel carriers. You know, maybe have a Humvee or two on each end so we can escort these kids straight to their house so they can go in the house. And then Trump and others, like old Mapp down here, Christopher Mapp, he thinks you ought to be able to run in your house. And then the windows can all have sandbags with guns sticking out of them so they can protect their family from the oncoming slot that's coming. Because that's what they pump. It's coming. They're coming for you. They're coming for your children. They're coming for everything. You want to build a wall to protect us from the evil people in the South. They want to give a Muslim ban to protect us from the evil people in the East. That's not who's killing us. Good red-blooded American people are killing us. The same people that were legally went out and bought those guns, and you bet your ass before this incident the NRA would have defended his right to buy that gun till his dying breath. Those Lepage or Lepage in France, whatever his name is, the NRA guy. That's his. That's from my dying hands. From their dying hand, that gun. Their children, oh no, not them. It's my gun. And it's not just a gun. It's not just a gun. They want that weapon. They want that weapon. So they could kill lots of them because you know there's going to be a mass of people running at him all at one time. You know, I used to tell people, you want to protect your house with a weapon, get a shotgun. You know why? Because when you pull out that pistol, whatever fantasy you had in your head about being the hero with the gun, and you're put in a situation, your ass is going to be scared. And that gun's going to be shivered in your goddamn hand. But no, in your mind, you're the superhero. They had a cop at the school. He waited outside. And you're asking our teachers, the people that went into the profession to teach our youth. Now you're advocating that they arm themselves with weapons so they can protect their kids. How about we protect our kids before the guy gets the gun? Oh, no, 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 no. Not that. It's their God-given right to own that weapon. That's what they keep pumping. The NRA and the bullshit gun lobby keeps pushing that. It's your God-given right to own those weapons. No matter how many. The guy that's running for my district, he doesn't care how many weapons you have. He doesn't care the size of the magazines that you have. He doesn't care how much ammunition you have. He doesn't care. I don't care. That was his statement. And I told him that, yeah, Ted Cruz is right. We're going to crawl over broken glass to make sure that the people that don't care do not get elected. And that's our job. That's our job as citizens, because we are not moving towards a civil society. We're not becoming that benevolent society that takes care of our own. No, we are becoming that armed nation that wants to point guns at each other. That's where the NRA wants to take us. You know why Marco Rubio's so hell-bent on backing the NRA? Because they build the damn guns right there in his state. Hell no, Rubio's not going to give you a bone or two. I told you the other day, I don't want a crumb. We've had an assault weapons ban before. We can have one again. Oh, John, that means any gun. No, it's this sick society and a gun industry that produces a weapon to make it look as much as they can like their real weapon of war, so these dicks can get their little fantasy going. And they feed into that fantasy. And they are law-abiding gun owners who, until the day they take their AR-15 and go shoot 30 or 40 people, they are right to that. The day after that, oh, he's a gun nut. He shouldn't have he was all this and all that. He should have never got a gun. That's what we're fighting against. No, you're not. You'll only fight against it the day after. That guy. What about the other millions of these guns out there? Oh, every one of them are law-abiding Americans that have the right to own that gun. No, we're not moving towards a civil society. Not the one that I grew up believing in. When I went through the Cub Scouts and the Boy Scouts, this was a different era. The NRA wasn't a gun nut lobbyist. My father was an NRA member. He would just be ashamed of the way the NRA acts. You know, they asked that Dana Loesch, whatever her name is, the one that came on TV and said that the media loves mass shootings. That white crying mothers are gold. That's what that lady said. That's where her mind goes. She's sick. They asked her, the NRA feel any responsibility to come to the table to discuss this? And her answer was, no, we will not. They are defiant. They are flipping the bird in your face. Our Second Amendment, a well-regulated, you know what that part means? Legislation. The NRA, they want to raise the age to buy guns to 21. The NRA says no. Background checks, the NRA says no. Bump stocks, the NRA says no. Anything that we come up with, the NRA is against it. Pleading it's all their gun owning rights. Close the gun show loophole where these idiots can walk in and buy as many guns as they can and walk out? Close that loophole? No. The NRA is not for that. Straw buyers, we hear about them, guys that go into a gun show. They'll buy 10 rifles and then go sell them on the black market. Sell them to the people, the nut job, the wacko. No. They come up with all these insane ideas that they say are going to make our schools like prison and put guards in there, arm the teachers. Let's have a real good shootout instead of do the thing that we're supposed to do. Become a civil society. And it starts with us. It starts with our voice, our civil voice, raising ever more so steadily with this blue wave, with this Me Too, with this Parkland shooting, with everything that we want to be dealt with by people who have our interest in mind, not the gun lobbyists or the pharmaceutical lobbyists or the insurance lobbyists or all the other lobbyists that control our government and our laws and the prices we pay for shit. Everything are because of these leeches up in our Congress and our Senate that do not vote for the welfare of the people, but for the welfare of themselves. They enrich themselves and then they pass tax laws where they can protect their money for future generations of their family only. Because that 1% does not give a shit about your family or any other's family down here. I keep telling them they're going to ride that stock market all the way up, make a whole bunch of money, and jerk it out from underneath your ass. Their money's good, baby. They got lots of it. If the value goes down, what does it matter to them? They got so much they can take a bath in it. While the rest of us will suffer for the greed of the corporations. Oh yeah, Donnie wants to bring back insane asylums too. What makes me think that that would be a plan to get homeless people off the street, declare mentally ill? And some of them are. But they want to throw them into an insane asylum. That's what Donnie's talking about. He's not talking about a mental health facility where they help you. No, Donnie wants them where you can just lock them up. Lock them up, you know, like the good old days. And I don't mean nice either. Grab them by the neck and throw them in. That's Donnie. That's the way Donnie talks, like a big tough ass. Cadet Bone Spurs is such a big guy. But when his nation called on him, he was a coward. He was a coward. He was shaking in his boots. When that officer was standing outside of the school with his gun and heard all those shots, he was scared. It is a civil voice that can save this society, our civil voice. Dissent is what saves a democracy from a slow death behind closed doors. Thank you, Kay. It's embedded in my mind because that's our responsibility. It's what we have to do as citizens, is to make the country we want, to make the laws that benefit us, that saves our society. So every day, in every way we can, we resist. We vote blue. We vote for people who have honor, who project the ideas of this country that we want to see. And it's not guns sticking out of your house with a sandbag getting ready for your neighbor across the street who doesn't think like you do. It's not what I want. Neighbors reaching out to each other. Red and yellow, black and white, just like they taught you in Sunday school. All the things that I learned as a young Boy Scout and Cub Scout, all those values that they taught me. This administration and the NRA and people like that, they're trying to throw those values in the ditch and convince you everything, and they have. That's how come I keep saying the evangelicals have thrown their religion in the ditch to follow him. He's an immoral liar, and that's proven immoral. No, he's not of God's choosing. Resist every day, people in the street, any way you can. Resist this kind of bullshit, because we can have a better society, and it starts with our voice. So I'm going to keep mine going, baby. That's about all I got, people. Like, share, and subscribe. John Bertavoe of Blue Dot in Texas on YouTube. John Bertavoe on Facebook. Blue Dot in Texas on Facebook. John Bertavoe Speaks. Blue Dot Family. Get in the family. Join the group. If you're not near this family, get in another family. Support the Hey, Arizona. AZ Resist, baby. We know you got an active group going on down there. Be active in your area, because that's what it's going to take. It starts at the grassroots level. It starts down here at the bottom. I'm trying my best with people like Beto O'Rourke. I'm behind him 100%. I love the way this guy's campaigning. The old-fashioned way. Honestly. Eric Holgan, I like that guy. Ray Thomas, he's great for the appellate court. And others in my area that I'm getting behind that I think are the ones that I project my values and where I want to go. And that's what we all have to do. So let's do that shit. And we'll make this a better place. And, oh yeah, at Twitter, at Blue Dot in Texas. And it's Resistance Friday, Tim Cormal. Wacko, oh, there we go. Wacky, wacky, wacky. And so be involved any way you can. And we'll make this a better place because we want a better place. Y'all take care. We'll see y'all later.